Hey everybody, Red October coming at you with another Shtf video. This one's going to be a discussion, and hopefully the phrase caught your attention. Why I want Shtf to happen. And I hope you said, ooh, I got to check this out. I think in the back of our mind, oh, let me say this first. I do not want Shtf to happen. Okay, if I did, I'd be crazy and I'd have a dozen of you telling me what's wrong with you. Okay? But I think secretly in the back of our mind, I think in some small fantasy, some small imagination, maybe you feel that, hey, it's going to take an Shtf event to see the changes that a lot of us agree need to happen. Change in this country. From government to our personal religious beliefs, to the population, races and genders that have recently come about. And I'm not for or against. I'm not going to sit here and bash any type of culture or race or gender issue. I don't. That's not why I'm making this video. But there are a dozen reasons why I think people can come up and say, if I asked you to list one reason why you want Shtf to happen, I'm sure each of you could list at least one agenda or one thing that you feel why you feel the reason an Shtf event should take place or should happen. And it's not because, yeah, you want to see people die, but you want change. And I think that a lot of us feel and agree that voting doesn't work, protesting doesn't work, going, marching up to your local capital or to your governor's office, that doesn't work. Making a stand politically with the protest doesn't work. It doesn't have any action behind it. Sorry, I just parked. So again, I think in some small aspect we feel that an Shtf event has to take place in order for things to change. Not because I want them to, not because I feel that is the only option out there, but I feel we've come to that point where the options are very minimum now, because everything else that we're trying to do is not working. Making YouTube videos, having discussions, having marches, protesting, voting, standing up for your beliefs on the corner, whether you're for or against that gender discussion, which again, personally, I don't have a response or a side on that. And some of you may say, well, you're either for or against. I'm not for either. I'm just trying to live my life and hold on to whatever values are still left in this country. And they are fading away, people. I know that. I was telling my wife that I know things have to change. I know in order to progress, become better, become more evolved, things have to change. And whatever values I have are going to die with me. And I can only pass on to whatever I can to my kids. They don't live in my world. I told my wife, I get that. And it's sad because those values are going to be lost at some point, whether they die with me, die with my kids or my grandkids. At some point, those values are going to change forever. They're never going to say this. They're never going to be able to experience those values that I've had growing up. We just don't live in that world anymore. So anyway, this is the reason for this video that I wanted to put out and just say why I want Shtf to happen. I don't. But in order for some changes to take place, where they're the changes I want, the changes you want, we have to see some changes in this country, because we're going too far to the left or to the right that America's not America anymore. It's evolved so much. We have a lot of people from other countries, and again, I'm not picking on any race or culture, but we have a lot of people from other countries that come here, and like Seller559, he did an excellent video on this topic. They're not coming here to become part of this system, of this country, America, the values and traditions that it was built on. They're coming in this country to make a life, make a living for themselves. But at the same time, they're not trying to become part of this system, this America that we have. And I think if you come to this country, that should be part of your pledge, that you do believe in the United States. You do support any actions that this country takes for the greater good of mankind and for the greater good of the world and for Americans. That you are not going to be offended by an American flag. You're not going to be offended by a prayer that is said at the football stadium before a game, because a lot of those values, that's what made this country so great. And I don't understand when people come here and they're like, I'm offended by that. No one told you to come here. You could easily turn around and go back to where you came from, but you have to remember, you came here for a reason, because you wanted a better life. You coming here and trying to make this country to what fits you or suits you, you're destroying this country little by little by wanting those changes, instead of embracing and say, this is a great country. The freedoms that this country has, the freedom of the people. Yes, they may have a different religion than me. Yes, their rights for women are different than in my culture I'm coming from. But if I want to be part of this great country, I have to be willing to change some of my beliefs, my religion, and my values. And even though I was raised this way, I'm coming in to a new world country that I need to adapt to that. And I'm referring to people that are from a culture where men dominate the women. And I understand in Bible, women or wives should be obedient to their husband within reason. Let's not get crazy here. But when you have someone that does not want to be part of that, or does not have those values that they're willing to adapt to, they're destroying this country little by little. And it starts with people that are not within the circle of this country, that want the same rights, they want the same privileges, they want all the assistance that this country offers. And to be honest with you, a lot of foreigners have a lot more opportunity than American citizens that are born here. They get a lot more assistance in food stamps, federal aid, housing. Maybe they want to become a better, maybe they want to open up a business. They have a lot of opportunity for school than most Americans do, and that's sad. I don't understand that. But if we cannot make things change ourselves in this country, with voting that doesn't work, with protesting, with calling your local, legislator in office, the mayor, governor, whatever it may be, if we cannot make changes on that level, then ultimately I think an SHTF event of some sort has to level the playing field for those events to take place. And it may cause greater harm than good in the beginning, but if it allows us to rebuild this country, I think that's a good thing. I may be wrong on some points, and I may be flip-flopping here. I'm just trying to get this off my mind, get a discussion going, and get your thoughts on that. I love America just like the next person. I want to see us succeed. I want to see us hold on to a lot of values. But unfortunately, the reality is those values are slipping. All right, thanks for watching. Red October out.